to live because I want to share with you what I'm doing. I've been in and out of the garden off and on today. Chris and I had to run some errands. And so I got out there this morning, did a few things, harvested a few peppers. But I also filmed a video that I'll share with you all. Hopefully, it'll be up probably about tomorrow, about what we're planting and some of the raised beds as we're starting to pull some of the summer plants that are done and just getting ready for the fall. But we've been doing a lot of seed starting over the last 2 weeks, but a lot of the seed starting has been in the sale trays. And I put that is now or never because y'all know that I like to soil block. Like I love soil blocking. Soil blocking saves a lot of space. Like this right here is potentially, I always say potentially, but depending on the germination. This is about 60 plants, potentially. And I was planting in these cell trays right here, and it's starting to take up a lot of room in the grow room. So I got like a 72 cell tray. We got like a 40. This is like a 40, 35 or 41. So it's starting to take up a lot of room. So I had to tell myself it's now or never. You have got to make this soil. I love soil blocking. But one of the things that's not my favorite, and you'll find that out as you continue to garden and grow, some things you'll find that is not your favorite. However, you have to do it. Like, for example, weeding. I don't like it, but I know that I need to do it. I've been putting that off too. So every day last week, like I would put on a timer and do like at least 30 to 45 minutes. But I always make a big batch of soil block mix. As you can see right here, this is the batch that I just made right here, which should last all season. And I try to make a big mix so that it will last at least all season. So maybe like once or twice a year, I will make the soil blocking mix, but it's not one of my favorite things to do because with what we make it with, you got to sift out the big pieces. And sometimes a lot of dust particles and different particles can start going everywhere. You really need to put on like goggles and dust masks. But, I just kind of walk away, let things settle down, put on a goggle and dust mask. But so this is what we're gonna do, and I put a little bit too much water in here when I was trying to wet the soil blocking mix. So I'm working off of this end right here because this is the good one. But I went ahead. This is like 60 plants, so we're gonna start some of our fall vegetables and flowers in the soil blocks. And I've shared with you all. So if you don't know, the way I like to decide if I'm going to do cell trays, if I'm going to do cell trays or if I'm going to do soil blocking, the way I decide is the really, really tiny seeds like snapdragon seeds, the leafy green seeds like your kale and your turnips, pansy seeds. I choose to soil block those because these are like 1/2 inch soil blocks. And the soil block is different from a seed starting mix. When you soil block, there is a specific soil blocking mix. Now, I have tweaked mine a little bit because I'm here in the South, but there's like a basic mix. And one of the things about the soil blocking mix that's different from, so this is seed starting mix because I've been doing seeds. This is my soil blocking mix. Like when you water the soil blocks, the number one thing you don't want to happen is for the soil blocks to disintegrate, like fall apart. You want them to be at a consistency where you could pick it up. And also when you water them, they don't like go everywhere, like just kind of disintegrate back into like a soil lump or something like that. So it's a big difference with the seed starting mix. I have not been successful trying to use seed starting mix with my soil blocks. So I have to, that's why I make up a big batch like this and I keep it right here because I don't like to make it often. So I'll do like a real batch, and then this tray holds 60, but I also have the bigger trays that hold about 120. Let me show y'all. So this tray right here holds about 120. But the reason why I also have to do it is because it's going to save room. So my whole goal, when you soil block in 1/2 inch blockers, because this is what this is, 1/2 inch blockers. When you soil block in 1/2 inch blockers, you have to have a plan. Are you going to pot them up? Are you going to like take them straight to the garden? And you got to think about your space. I don't have a greenhouse yet. So my plan, since we're really getting close to fall, I could tell by the temperatures, is I'm going to start them in these soil blocks. I'm going to harden them off, and these are going straight to the garden. I'm not going to pot them up. I am going to harden them off, and I am going to put them in the garden. And that was a little bit different in the springtime. In the springtime, I started a lot of things from soil blocks. It was still cold. It wasn't time to put them out yet, but I needed them to get a lot of growth on them. So I went ahead and I potted them up. But I don't plan to pot these soil blocks up. I am going to plant a lot of plants. And again, it's going to be a lot of fall, cool weather plants. Now, my cilantro and parsley, I'm going to plant them in the cell trays. And the reason why I do that is because they're bigger. They can't fit on these small soil blocks. Now, I do have a 2-inch soil block, but that means it's going to take a lot of soil blocking mix, a lot. And I'm like, we're going to start with the 1/2 inch. We're going to harden them off after they germinate, and we're going to put them straight in the garden. I still may have to put some shade cloth over it because I got a feeling, I know we're going into September, but I got a feeling that we're going to get a few more hot days. And the last thing I want to do is put these out in the garden and we get the temperature and the temperatures increase again, and then it'll cause my leafy greens to bolt and go to seed. It's a timing thing. A lot of people get frustrated because they start leafy greens, and then when it gets too hot, because leafy greens like the cool weather, they like to grow in the fall and they like to grow in the spring. But since here in Georgia we have a milder fall, then a lot of these varieties that I'm going to plant, they love a little bit of light frost. That's what really sweetens them up. That's why I like fall greens. Sometimes in the springtime when I plant greens, as it starts to heat up, some of them are not as tender or as sweeter than fall garden grown greens. So that's why I like to do fall greens, but I'll do spring too. But we're going to be planting mustards, kale. I already got some coloreds going. We're also going to plant broadleaf spinach mustards. Now, the spinach, we're going to plant those in cell trays as well. Their seeds are a little bit bigger. My main focus with the soil blocks, if you could see, is the real small, tiny seeds like snapdragon. Some of them look like little flecks of dust. And I actually have to use this little container right here and a toothpick and some water, and it'll help me to pick the seeds up a little bit better. But I'll keep y'all posted. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, because I want to share with you the soil blocking method, and I'll go down to my grow room once they start growing, because this will take up not a lot of space. I can put these on the heating mat. Once they germinate, I take them off the heating mat, and then we can like keep it in rotation and just start succession planting with our greens. So that way we're not harvesting all at once and trying to figure out what to do. But I just wanted to tell y'all, finally, I got some soil blocking mix made. And this should be enough for the season. Again, most of the time I make it about twice a year, but it's not one of my favorite things to do. It's so much sifting. It's so much, I think the sifting is what I don't like. And Chris kind of built me a little frame um, with the wire fencing, like the 1/2 inch wire, I guess you could say, that he stapled on there. And so a lot of times I got to sift twice to get all of the big particles out, because you don't want big particles in your soil blocking mix. And once I do that and get it made, it seems to be good. But again, this is potentially 60 plants, y'all, once I get these seeded And I'm going to do a big tray, probably of flowers. And this is like, this holds about 120 plants. So we're going to have flowers. We're going to have herbs, but I'm going to do my herbs in the cell tray, and then we're going to have a lot of the leafy greens, and that way I can control the moisture, and that way I can control the plant a little bit more. Now, the one thing before I go that I want to tell you about soil blocking, because they have 1/2 inch soil blocks, which is what this is. They have 1 inch soil blocks. They have 2 inch soil blocks. But for this 1/2 inch right here, when I put it on the heating mat, sometimes I have to water it twice a day because it dries out really quick. They're 1/2 inch soil blocks. Versus if I put them like in a seed starting tray right here, it may be about a couple of days, 2, 3 days, and I go out and I check on it, and then I'll bottom water it. But these, I really have to make sure when I soil block that I don't have any plans to like go out of town or go anywhere, because if I don't, even if I take them off the heating mat, once they germinate, they still dry out way quicker than your seed starting mix with the cell tray. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go pull out my leafy greens. Again, I already planted collards. Those are germinating well. We're trying a new variety called Calliards that we ordered. And it's a mix of collards and kale, but I also want to plant like regular kale, like the curly leaf kale. I got a lot of lettuce planted already. Those are germinating, but I don't want to put those out yet. It's a beautiful day today, but I still feel like it's a little bit hot. And I just don't want all of my hard work of, prepping the seed starting mix, planting everything's germinating in the grow room, and then to put them outside, and it's still, I mean, we're about 85 right now. I'll probably put them out maybe probably mid-September is when we're going to put them out. But so that's what we're going to do. And I want y'all to hit the subscribe button if you're not following us. So I'm going to go and I'll let y'all know what I am planting, because I'm getting a little bit better. Always label. So I'm doing good because I got my labels out. And so what I do is I stick them in here as I label them. I put the variety, I put the date, and then I put the seed company. This is how I start learning what seed companies I like. All seed companies are not the same. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to pull my seeds out. I'll come back to y'all a little bit later, maybe later after I get all my flowers planted, because we're going to put these right here, about 120. I know I want a lot of snapdragons. I know I want a lot of pansies. And we got violas. I may put the violas in the cell tray because we kind of broadcast that. But I'll probably come back later, let y'all see the 2 trays that we have and what all we are growing. Okay, so let me go charge my phone up to y'all. But I'll check back in with you later on and let you know what I'm planting. But make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow us along this fall season. And I hope you all are getting ready, if you're able, because it always depends on your first fall frost, your last spring frost, and your growing zone. So I hope you're able to grow some things for the fall. Okay, y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.